So now listen to that.
سلام اسم من بابکه اسم تو چیه؟
سلام اسم من مریمه.
So we do review that so that you would be Maryam and I would be Babak. سلام اسم من بابکه اسم تو چیه؟
اسم من Natalie.
Natalie, exactly. Perfect, Natalie. Absolutely. So let's go to the next conversation. The conversation is about good morning, as you see that, صبح بخیر. And this is a mother and son, and they keep really a very short conversation, just 2-3 phrases. And there is a word that you might know. This is the word janam in Persian, which means my soul or my spirit, which you can paraphrase it as my dear, because John is the soul and they have the position at the end, janam. It might come up in some of the conversations. I'm not sure about this one, but most probably would come up. Okay, now listen to that.
سلام مامان. سلام پسرم. صبح بخیر. سامان جون چطوری؟ خوبم. خیلی ممنون.
Going back and listen to the conversation once again.
سلام مامان. سلام پسرم. صبح بخیر. سامان جون چطوری؟ خوبم. خیلی ممنون.
Okay. Did you recognize the boy's name?
No.
It comes prior to the word June, which is the soul, right? Now listen to that once again.
سلام مامان. سلام پسرم. صبح بخیر. سامان جون چطوری؟ خوبم. خیلی ممنون.
What is his name?
So it's like soba?
Saman.
Somad. Okay.
Saman. So Saman. Saman. Very typical
Okay.
Persian name, Saman. So now listen to the first part. What does the boy say?
سلام مامان.
Is he like addressing his mother like hello?
Salam
Or no?
maman. Exactly. You're using the French word maman. In spoken Persian, we don't say mother. We say maman. So mim alef nun, maman. And that's exactly what the boy who is called Saman says. He says, Salam maman. Now listen what the mom is responding to her son's greeting.
سلام پسرم. صبح بخیر.
What does
The
she
first I'm sorry?
What does she say? Because the boy says Salam maman. What does the mom answer? Listen to it once again.
سلام پسرم. صبح بخیر.
Well, she says hello back, but I'm not familiar with the phrase after she says like hello.
Salam pesaram, صبح بخیر.
Okay.
And this pesaram has exactly the topic that we dealt with the last few sessions. Possessive pronouns, right? Salam pesaram, right? Hello, son of mine, right? Hello, my son.
Oh, yes.
Right. So now listen from the beginning up to this part once again.
سلام مامان. سلام پسرم صبح بخیر
So he says, Salam maman. The mom answers, Salam pesaram, صبح بخیر, چطوری? And now she adds also some few further words.
سامان جون چطوری؟
Saman jun, چطوری? Which is clear. Saman, my dear,
Mhm.
how are you doing?
Mhm.
What does he answer? I'm interested to know.
خوبم خیلی ممنون
What does he say?
Like I'm good, and then
And what is the word for? I mean, it says خوبم. I
خوبم.
don't need the translation. I'm quite sure that you know the translation. I would like to know what is the wording. What does he say? Listen to that.
Okay.
خوبم خیلی ممنون
So hubam khele mamnoon, right? Which is
Mamnun.
like
Exactly. Exactly. So mamnun means to be gratified, to be thankful. So it's like to say merci, which is the French merci, or like the pure Persian word sepas that we often say in Persian. So he says khubam kheli mamnun. It is not well, you could use your own wording if you want to say thank you. You can say khubam merci, which is very common in Persian, even though it's a loan word from French. Or you can say khubam sepas. So you can go ahead and use the word sepas or merci. خیلی ممنون. Both words are Arabic. خیلی means a lot. ممنون means thank. Lots of thanks, word by word. So listen to the conversation 1 second, please.
سلام مامان سلام پسرم صبح بخیر سامان جون چطوری؟ خوبم خیلی ممنون
So we don't need to keep exactly the same conversation, but this is early in the morning, and I greet you with saying good morning, and you try to answer. You could use the same word that I'm using to address you.
Okay.
You just replace it using my name. Salam Natalie, صبح بخیر.
Salam Farshid. The sobahir was like good morning, right? I don't
Exactly.
know.
Is it correct? صبح بخیر, exactly. Once again,
But sobahir also. Okay.
Salam Natalie, صبح بخیر.
Salam Farshid. Like you can reply with sobahir as well.
Exactly, صبح بخیر. So you would really repeat the same word that you hear, right? Because
Okay.
you just replace the name. I would say Salam Natalie, صبح بخیر, and you respond to me, Salam Farshid, صبح بخیر. And then and the next question would be, how are you? And then you can respond the way you learn. You don't need to imitate someone. You just try to use the wording which is more convenient for you.
Okay.
Salam Natalie, صبح بخیر.
Salam Farshid. Sobahir.
ناتالی جون چطوری؟
Hubam. Merci.
It's fine, absolutely.
Okay. Perfect.
So you could say خوبم مرسی, خوبم سپاس. Well, I personally don't like the word خیلی ممنون, but it's quite common. But it's absolutely fine with merci or سپاس.
Okay.
So let's look at the next conversation. That will be the same routine. So let me...
سلام مامان سلام پسرم صبح بخیر سامان جون چطوری؟ خوبم خیلی ممنون
Okay, now this one. It's about, could you read the word you see under the phrase nice to meet you?
So Is this, am I looking at 3 words or am I looking at like 2 words or I'm
It is really
still
just one word, but they
Okay.
have a little half space. It's really one word, and one word with a personal ending at the end.
Okay. So
Correct.
Hushwa.
Yes. خوشوقتم. Exactly. خوشوقتم. خوش is the good, and waqt is the time, and am at the end is I am. Word by word means I have a good time. Sometimes we say also خوشبختم. خوشبختم means well, I'm happy to meet you. Word by word means I have a good time. خوش is the good, waqt is the time, but I would rather use the word خوشبختم. It means instead of to use the word waqt, I can use the word bacht, and bacht is the fate or the destiny of a person. So it's a be-che-te, bacht, خوشبخت, right? خوشبخت. And well, here the writer chooses to use the word خوشوقت, while you have a composite, a compound word of خوش, which is good, and then the second part is waqt, which is the time. So it means I'm in a good time. I have a good time. Well, I have a good time here in a script to have met you. So, but the original version is not خوشوقت, is خوشبخت, right? With a good luck, with a good fortune. So when you meet a person, you say خوشبختم or خوشوقتم. I don't want to write on the screen because they would remain and it's quite difficult to get rid of them. So that's why think about the word خوشبخت, and that I would put it here for you in the chat. That is the word. خوش plus the word bacht, as you see that here. That creates the form خوشبخت.
Okay, yes, I do see that in the messages.
Exactly. And خوشبخت means having a good fate or having a good fortune. And of course, you would say man خوشبخت هستم. And this man خوشبخت هستم could be also abbreviated in the form man خوشبختم. And even you can drop man at the beginning, because in the flexion of the word خوشبخت, the personal ending of I am is already incorporated. So I could simply say خوشبختم. So now what you see here though on the screen is خوشوقتم. Is a خوش plus the word وقت, while خوش means good and وقت means time. I'm not very much for this version, but this is a good video. That's why I wanted to play that one. But you just replace please the word خوشوقت by the word خوشبخت. The better one. So having that now on the screen, let's go further.
سلام مریم. عصر بخیر.
He says, Salam Maryam, Asr Bekhair, right? That's what he says. And just to be clear, see that? Salam Maryam, Hama Asr Bekhair. Is that what Babak says? So the main protagonist of the story is Babak, and then the second character is always Maryam, and there are different, let's say, statists that they call standmen and different characters, but they are coming and going. But the main two figures of this whole story is, in fact, the communication between Babak, who is from southern Iran, Shiraz, and sometimes he has also a Shirazi dialect when he speaks. It's quite funny. And then Maryam, who is from Tehran, from the capital. So, and this is a series of encounterings, studying together, watching a movie together, and doing some leisure activities together. And it starts with very simple conversations about getting to know each other, and then gets a little bit more complicated in intermediate and upper intermediate. But for now, it's enough if you think about these two characters, Maryam and Babak. So in this conversation, he says, Salam Maryam, Asr Bekhair, which I put it here in the chat, and then listen what the lady's answering. Let's just put it back here. Oh, it was silent.
سلام مریم عصر بخیر
سلام بابک چطوری؟
And of course, the conversation is quite reputable. It says, Salam Babak. Cheturi. So, Salam Babak, I put a comma here for the glossary stop. Cheturi. So, Salam Maryam. Asr Bekhair. Can you follow the chat, Natalie?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, perfect. So, Salam Maryam. Asr Bekhair. Asr is the evening. Is exactly the opposite of the word subh, because subh meant morning and asr means evening. So, in fact, Asr Bekhair means good evening, right? Salam Maryam. Asr Bekhair. And then she says, Salam Babak Chetori. Now, listen how the conversation flows.
خوبم خیلی ممنون
Again, the same form. خوبم خیلی ممنون. That is the word that he keeps to say that. And of course, you can go ahead and use the word merci, or you can use the word sepas. They're all fine. It's up to you what is more convenient for you to use, in fact. So, okay.
تو چطوری؟
So, خوبم خیلی ممنون سپاس, and adds also the word to چطوری, because that's required, right? Because somebody is asking about your health, is concerned about your health, so you thank, and then immediately you have to respond back to that and says to چطوری. And now listen to her.
منم بد نیستم.
What does she say, Natalie?
I didn't catch the first part, but then she says like nistam.
She's not something, right? Listen to that
بد نیستم.
once again.
She isn't bad, right?
Exactly.
منم بد نیستم.
Exactly. Says that's Maryam who talks. That's why I put it just here. Maryam clone man ham bad nistan. So man ham bad nistan, right? You could use man ham khubam. Ham means also as well. So you can say man ham bad nistam or man ham khubam, doesn't matter. Ham here is just an emphasis that really means also as well. Is an adverb. So now.
بابک این شوهرم آرشه.
What does she say? Listen once again. Listen once again.
بابک این شوهرم آرشه.
She obviously is introducing somebody. Right? Listen.
بابک این شوهرم آرشه.
Once again.
بابک این شوهرم آرشه.
Can you follow what she's saying?
Um,
Not translating, just repeating that what you hear. Listen.
بابک این شوهرم آرشه.
ایشگارم آراشه.
Not bad. It says
bad.
exactly. She addresses Babak, right? Maryam is addressing Babak and says Babak. And exclamative sign in shoharam Arash. Maryam. That's the Maryam who's saying Maryam. Babak. In shoharam Arash. Arash is the name of the guy. Arash. And shohar means husband. And so if shohar means husband, what does mean shoharam?
My husband.
Exactly. And in is demonstrative pronoun when you index with your when you indicate or when you demonstrate with your index finger on a person. In shoharam arash. So when you want to introduce somebody, for example, if you want to introduce Dante to me, you would say Farshid. In shoharam Dantas. Or if I want to introduce to you my wife, I would say Natalie. In hamsaram or zanam, well, that would be then the female version, ilhame, and so on. So Maryam says, Babak in shoharam arash. And then listen how Babak is responding to this introduction. Listen.
سلام خوشوقتم.
What does he say? Listen to that again.
سلام خوشوقتم.
So he's shaking hand and says something. Would you like to listen to that again?
Sure.
Okay, go ahead. Listen.
سلام
Listen it back.
سلام خوشوقتم.
I don't know what it means, but it sounds like he's saying like Oshvachtam.
Exactly, it's exactly the same word. Khoshbakhtam. Khoshbakhtam. Babak says salam and then says khoshbakhtam. What I would say, just instead of using the word khoshbakhtam, you can go ahead and use the original form khoshbakhtam. Khosh is good and bakht is lucky, luck or destiny, fortune. So khoshbakhtam is lucky to know you, right? I have a good fate, good fortune to see you too. So khoshbakhtam is the form, right? So, and now this was actually the whole conversation. In fact, I would go back and just let me just put that here. So this is the whole conversation from Salam Maryam, and just listen and follow with your eyes the conversation that you see here. Okay.
سلام مریم عصر بخیر.
سلام بابک چطوری؟
خوبم خیلی ممنون. تو چطوری؟
منم بد نیستم. بابک این شوهرم آرشه.
سلام خوشوقتم.
سلام منم خوشبختم.
So you see that the guy in answer, he doesn't say manam khoshvaqtam, he says salam, and that's the arash. He's talking, says salam. Man ham khoshvaqtam. That's the answer. Now, okay. So you just put it off. Let you see the conversation. Okay. So now listen once again, please.
سلام مریم عصر بخیر.
سلام بابک چطوری؟
خوبم خیلی ممنون. تو چطوری؟
منم بد نیستم. بابک این شوهرم آرشه.
سلام خوشوقتم.
سلام منم خوشبختم.
Okay, perfect. So now, let's play the role. You will be Mariam, and I will be
Mhm.
Babak. We can just simply use their names, right?
Okay.
So, okay. And you can see the conversation here. If the words are not, I mean, if you did not memorize them, which is fine. So, Salam Mariam. عصر بخیر.
سلام ببک چطوری؟ Right.
خوبم. خیلی ممنون. خوبم. مرسی. or خوبم. سپاس. تو چطوری؟
Dear. This is the خوبم سپاس or من هم خوبم.
Okay, من هم بد نیستم. Exactly. Perfect. And you introduce me to your husband.
Oh yes. Farshid. Or Babak. In Shaharam, either I forget this person's name, but
آرش.
Orash.
این شوهرم آرشه, which is the colloquial way of saying این شوهرم آرش است, right? So that's why she's using the colloquial vernacular form and says Babak این شوهرم آرشه. And now I'm answering سلام خوش وقتم, and then he answers
Salam man ham خوش وقتم.
perfect. That's it. Amazing. So now okay, let's go to the next conversation. Let's listen to that once again.
سلام مریم. عصر بخیر.
سلام بابک چطوری؟
خوبم. خیلی ممنون. تو چطوری؟
منم بد نیستم. بابک این شوهرم آرشه.
سلام. خوشوقتم.
سلام منم خوشبختم.
So now this one is asking about somebody's nationality, somebody's origin, and yeah, I mean, or citizenship. And if you look at the structure here, it's a very typical way we are using that. أهل کجایی. And أهل, an Arabic word, it means being local of somewhere. For example, if I am from Shiraz, I would say man أهل شیراز هستم. You would use it always in a kind of a اضافه or genitive construction in relation to the countryside, the place and the nation you're coming from, right? So you would say man أهل شیرازم. Of course, if you want to magnify that and talking about your nationality, you would say man أهل ایرانم. من ایرانی هستم. But in general, after أهل, you would not use the country that you're originating from, rather the local, the city, the province you were born and raised in. So if you look at the structure here, the word أهل is the locality of a person, or the nearness, أهل. And کجا, of course, is where. So أهل کجایی means word by word, you are local of where. And then you would use exactly the same structure, أهل, and you would add the name of the place you were born and raised in, and you would use the verb am. For example, من أهل شیرازم. أهل شیرازم, or أهل شیراز هستم. من أهل کاشانم. من أهل تهرانم. And this is exactly about these two or more couples that they meet each other and they introduce each other and they say, where are they from? Listen to the conversation from the beginning up to the end, maybe 2 or 3 times, and let me know how many words you could catch up.
مریم جان سلام.
بابک جان سلام صبح بخیر چطوری؟
مرسی. بد نیستم. تو چطوری؟ خوبی؟
خیلی خوبم مرسی.
مریم جان تنها هستی؟
نه، با دوستم سارا هستم. سارا این بابکه. سلام.
سلام سارا خانم، خوشوقتم. شما ایرانی هستی؟
بله، من ایرانیم ولی مادرم آلمانیه. شما اهل کجایین؟
منم ایرانیم.
کجای ایران؟
شیراز. من شیرازیم.
چه خوب. پدر منم شیرازیه.
به به چه خوب. مریم امشب خونه هستی؟
بله، من و سارا امشب منزل هست.
Okay. You see that at the beginning, this guy is approaching these two ladies,
Mhm.
and Mariam is introducing her new friend, and he is interested to know where is she from, and she also, vice versa, is interested to know where Babak is from, and they talk about their nationalities, and at the end, Babak is asking Mariam whether she is alone at home tonight or she is at home, and she answers yes. Sarah and I, we are at home tonight. Now listen to that once again. We could catch up the words.
مریم جان سلام.
به بابک جان سلام، صبح بخیر. چطوری؟
So what does Mariam answer to the phrase when he says when he says Mariam Jan Salam?
I believe she said almost the same thing back.
Exactly.
Super good.
But he's using also an emphasis. The ladies. He says Bah Babak Jan Salam Chatori. I put it also here as a script here. As so, and Bah means wow, nice. Bah is an exclamatory word. It doesn't have any particular meaning, and onomatopoetic. In fact, Bah is when you express your bewilderment, your admiration, your joyfulness, seeing, eating, or experiencing something which is joyful. You would say Bah. Could also repeat it, say Bah Bah. Wow, well, Bah. So that's why she says Bah Babak Jan Salam Chatori. And listen.
صبح بخیر. چطوری؟
She's adding us another word, not only salam. Listen. Listen.
به بابک جان سلام، صبح بخیر. چطوری؟
She's not just saying bah Babak Jan salam. She's adding us something in between.
It sounds like she's saying like super hey or something.
Exactly. The whole phrase
Again.
Exactly. So she says bah Babak Jan salam صبح بخیر چطوری. Now listen what Babak is answering to this phrase. Bah Babak Jan salam صبح بخیر چطوری.
چطوری؟
مرسی بد نیستم.
What does he say?
Bad nistam as
But
well.
before, yes, but he's using another word before bad nistam. Listen.
مرسی بد نیستم.
Besides merci.
That's it. That's merci.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if I missed another like preposition.
No. That was merci bad nistam. Thank you. I'm not bad, right? So now listen. How does
تو چطوری؟
and of course the same. To chatori, right? To chatori. And now,
خوبی؟
not only that, he's adding also something else. To chatori, and then as a continuation, Hubi, And listen now to the answer.
خیلی خوبم مرسی.
What does she say?
خیلی خوبم.
Yeah, in general, you won't say that. It's quite exaggerated. I'm very well. خیلی خوبم. You won't say that. You would say خوبم. But just to be loyal to the script, she says خیلی خوبم. Merci. I'm very well. Thank you. So in general, you would say خوبم, not خیلی خوبم. But that's fine. Okay, now listen further.
مریم جان تنها هستی؟
What does he say? Listen.
مریم جان تنها هستی؟
Once again.
مرسی.
مریم جان تنها هستی؟
Once again.
مرسی.
مریم جان تنها هستی؟
What is the phrase?
Well, he says like Maryam June, and then I don't know what he says before he says hasti.
Exactly, it's an adjective. So it says Maryam John تنها هستی. تنها means alone.
Okay.
Because he seeks a conversation. Of course, she's not alone. She's with this blonde lady next to him, next to her. So he's asking Maryam John تنها هستی, and listen to her answer, please. Oh.
سارا این چیه؟
مریم جان تنها هستی؟
نه با دوستم سارا هستم.
What does she answer? Of course, she's not alone. So what does she say?
Nah, and then she says something else.
Exactly.
And she begins to introduce her friend.
Yes, but she's saying, I'm with somebody. Listen to that.
مریم جان تنها هستی؟
نه با دوستم سارا هستم.
What does she say?
Um,
Listen once again. Listen.
تنها هستی؟
نه با دوستم سارا هستم.
As the answer to the question, Maryam John, تنها هستی, Maryam is answering and then at the same time addressing or showing her friend.
like Dustam Sara Hastam, right? Or no?
Exactly. Perfect. It says that she's denying to be alone. So she would say na با دوستم
Dustam. Okay.
Sara هستم. Perfect. No, I'm with my friend Sarah. Perfect. Okay. So Maryam John تنها هستی? Dear Maryam, are you alone? نه. No. با دوستم سارا هستم. With friend of mine, Sarah, I am. Right? So I'm with my friend Sarah. And now the conversation between the two starts.
سارا این بابکه.
And now again, she is introducing him. What does she say?
Sara in Babake? I'm not sure.
Yes, correct. Perfect. Sarah in Babake. I put that on the chat, right? Sarah in Babake. See that? Sarah
Yes.
in Babake. And now, of course, she starts the conversation with her.
بابکه سلام.
سلام سارا خانم خوشوقتم.
What does he say? She says salam. And Babak answers.
He says something before saying like the lucky to meet you, Khoshbakhtam.
Exactly. He says her name. That's it. Listen.
سلام.
سلام سارا خانم خوشوقتم.
What does he say? Khanum means lady.
Okay.
So salam, Sarah, Khanum, and then خوشبختم. Salam, Sarah, Khanum, خوشبختم. Khanum is actually the word that you're using after the first name of people, right? Not after the family name, right? you either say the first name of a person and you would add the word khanum, like Natalie Khanum, Sarah Khanum, Maryam Khanum, or you're using the word khanum with an A, and then you would use the family name. That's more formal. So I would say Khanum Morfi, Khanum Delshad, Khanum Kazemi. So it means in this form, you would use Khanum plus A plus the family name. But if you want to be more friendly, you would use the proper name, the personal first name, and then you would use the word Sarah before. So Sarah Khanum, Natalie Khanum, Rebecca Khanum, Shirin Khanum, doesn't matter. There's always a Khanum after the name of the person. For men, you would use Agha. For example, I can say Agha Babak. It's not in the conversation, just right here, Babak. You can say Agha Babak, or you could say Babak Khan. Is the Mongolian word that we are using, like Khan, right? That you know that in English, right? It's written just with a khe. So I can say Dante Khan, Farshid Khan, Ali Khan. So using the word Khan. If not, you would use the word Agha. Both words, Agha, Khanum, and Khan, they're all Mongolian words. They're not Persian words, right? Why we are using Mongolian complimentary titles for Iranian people? Because I mean, well, this is because of the Mongol invasion in 13th century, and of course, there's the invasion of also loan words from Mongolian language into Persian. So, but they're quite a vestige in Persian, and we're using them very often. So you could use Agha for men or Khan, but the placement of the word is not the same. So you would put the Agha before the name and Khan after the name. But Khanum would come always after the name. Sarah Khanum, Natalie Khanum. So now, no, of course she doesn't say that word, but I would like you to listen to that.
سلام.
سلام سارا خانم. خوشوقتم. شما ایرانی هستی؟
What does he ask?
شما ایرانی هستی؟
Hastin, because he's
Hastin,
using,
okay.
and he's using, of course, the colloquial Persian, and with a hint of the Shirazi dialect. Shoma Shirazi Hastin. It's a kind of a Persian, a kind of a southern Persian Shirazi dialect. So the Tehrani dialect would be Shoma Irani Hastin, but he's saying that with a hint of the southern accent. This, I don't know if you could recognize it, doesn't matter in fact, but it's not bad to hear the difference.
سلام.
سلام سارا خانم. خوشوقتم. شما ایرانی هستی؟
شما ایرانی هستین? Well, we can also say that without the accent, شما ایرانی هستین? Are you Iranian? What does she? And of course, he's surprised because she's a blonde girl and she's speaking Persian. So that's why he's just surprised whether she is Iranian or not. And she answers.
بله من ایرانیم.
What does she say?
بله من ایرانیم.
Perfect. من ایرانیم. Perfect. In chat, بله من ایرانیم. Okay, and then there is a further information.
ولی مادرم آلمانیه.
She's saying something about her mom.
Yes, she is.
What does she say? Well, listen to that. She says, yes, I'm Iranian, but my mom, listen, vali means but.
من ایرانیم ولی مادرم آلمانیه.
من ایرانیم ولی مادرم آلمانیه. ولی مادرم آلمانیه. What does it mean?
Her mother's German.
Perfect. Very good. Very good. And now, and listen.
شما اهل کجایین؟
شما اهل کجایین, right? And now she's asking شما. Obviously, he's Iranian, but he's coming more further in detail to say where is he from. شما اهل کجایین. Put it here in the chat. شما اهل کجایین. And now, once again.
مانیه شما اهل کجایین؟
منم ایرانیم.
What does he say?
Essentially, he's Iranian.
And what is the wording he's using?
I missed the first word, but he said Iranian.
Says man ham Iranian with the word ham. That means also, but in spoken.
Oh, yes.
And in spoken, often you drop the he in pronunciation, saying manam Iranian. So is that the way he's saying that is this way? Manam, which is the abbreviation of manham Iranian. Right? Manam, which is manham, right? Me also Iranian. Okay, and then goes further.
کجایین؟
منم ایرانیم.
کجای ایران؟
What does she ask? Listen. She knows, of course, that he's Iranian because they're speaking Persian, right? And his name is Babak, but she wants to know a little bit more in detail. Listen.
ایرانیم.
کجای ایران؟
What does she say?
کجای ایران? I'm not
کجای
sure.
ایران. Exactly. Perfect. کجای ایران. Natalie, you're doing a good job. That's fine. It's a conversation.
Like essentially, where in Iran is he from?
Exactly. کجای ایران. Where in Iran? And now he answers.
شیراز.
You got it?
Yes, he's from Shiraz as well.
Perfect. Shiraz. And then, listen.
من شیرازیم.
Says Shiraz, and then what does he say after? Listen.
شیراز. من شیرازیم.
Man Shiraziyam.
Perfect. Shiraz, man Shiraziyam. Shiraz, man Shiraziyam. Okay. Now, she's quite delighted because she has also relatives who are Shirazis, right? Listen.
چه خوب. پدر منم شیرازیه.
What does she say? Listen.
Yes.
Listen once again, please.
چه خوب. پدر منم شیرازیه.
پدر من شیرازه.
Exactly. پدر منم شیرازیه. But before that, she says, of course, چه خوب, right? How
Okay.
nice. چه خوب. پدر منم, which is the abbreviation of منهم شیرازیه. That's a weird. Okay, the subtitle doesn't need to be here. Let me just look at the subtitle here because I have to delete the subtitle here. Okay, so perfect. So now, okay, so now going back. Okay.
پدر منم شیرازیه.
به به چه خوب.
What does he say?
چهوب.
Exactly. Bah bah. Don't forget the form bah bah. Che khub. It's a kind of an exclamative form. Che khub. Word by word means wow, how nice. Bah bah. As I told before, explained before, you would use this repetition of bah plus bah, bah, bah when you're delighted seeing, eating, or knowing somebody, right? So, and then is every tail conversation is not really important. It has nothing to do with the introducing, but
مریم امشب خونه هستی؟
what does he ask? مریم امشب خونه هستی؟ مریم امشب خونه هستی؟ Oh, the edit is correct. Deleted. مریم امشب خونه هستی؟ Look at that. مریم امشب خونه هستی? What does it mean? If شب means night.
Oh,
مریم امشب خونه هستی؟ And خونه of course is the colloquial verb form of خانه, right? And شب
oh, are you home tonight? You're
exactly, are you home tonight? And what does she answer?
بله من و سارا امشب منزل است.
Unnecessarily using another synonymous word for خونه, which is manzel, which is you don't need really to know that because خونه is fine. So, but she's saying بله من و سارا امشب منزل, which is the other word for خونه, colloquial form of خانه هستیم. بله من و سارا امشب خونه هستیم. Yes, I and Sarah tonight at home we are. So منزل and خونه or خانه, they're 100% synonymous words. Though manzil is the place of residence, an Arabic word, and the Persian word is khane or khune. You're fine with khane, you don't need to know manzil, but it's a synonymous word, not bad to know that. So now, that would be the last conversation. I would like to put in a normal pace, and you just listen to that, and we do try to, in fact, do the role play. Putting that back. And you can just look at the conversation here.
مریم جان سلام.
به بابک جان سلام صبح بخیر چطوری؟
مرسی. بد نیستم. تو چطوری؟ خوبی؟
خیلی خوبم مرسی.
مریم جان تنها هستی؟
نه با دوستم سارا هستم. سارا این بابکه. سلام.
سلام سارا خانم. خوشوقتم. شما ایرانی هستی؟
بله من ایرانیم ولی مادرم آلمانیه. شما اهل کجایین؟
منم ایرانیم.
کجای ایران؟
شیراز. من شیرازیم.
چه خوب. پدر منم شیرازیه.
به به چه خوب. مریم امشب خونه هستی؟
بله من و سارا امشب منزل است.
Okay, now knowing this conversation, and you have the script here, let's play a small role asking you about your background, and you're gonna asking about my background. Don't forget to introduce yourself. Where are you from? And then you go first for global scale. So you talk about your nationality, and then the city or the province or the state you were born and raised in. سلام ناتالی.
سلام فرشید.
چطوری؟
چطوری؟ من خوبم مرسی. تو چطوری؟
من هم خوبم. ناتالی تو اهل کجایی؟
من اهل نیویورک هستم.
And you go and using
I'm sorry?
and you are using the same form and for asking
It was
so,
کجا اهل کجا هستی؟
من اهل شیراز هستم. من شیرازیم. دانته اهل کجاست؟
دانته اهل نیوجرسی
است. Or اهل نیوجرسیه. So is just for the first person. Okay. ناتالی مادرت اهل کجاست؟
مادر من اهل نیوجرسی
asked.
asked.
or اهل نیوجرسیه. ناتالی پدرت اهل کجاست؟
پدر من اهل نیویورکه. or New York است.
Oh, perfect. New York. Absolutely. That's fine. Okay. So, okay, amazing. So let me just stop sharing that. And, okay, just is that one. So the chat protocol will be saved for you, but I mean, it will be also available in our video that I would put it just in a private link. So, and now I would like to go back and in the remaining time that we have, working a little bit on two topics. First one, I would like to know if you have any question regarding these possessive pronouns. Let's see that here we have these 5 words on the right side, and you have these 5 words on the left side. And I would like to see if you could use the so-called joined or inclusive pronouns instead of saying, for example, the word, let's say, a shohar man, my husband, saying shoharam, or instead of to say iPhone man, that you would say iPhoneam, using always this inclusive form. Starting with the word shahraman. Go ahead.
So it's shahram.
Exactly. Let's open the comments so that they can write it. Also for the references for the students. So I'm just writing the word here, shahram. So exactly, shahram. Amazing. Let's go to the next one. So it is jawab to, which means your response, because jawab is the response or the answer. And you want to say your answer in a short form.
Jawabat.
Perfect. Jawabat, exactly. Jawabat, that is the written form. What about the spoken form? The a changes to a, that's it. The a above the b changes to a.
Jawabat.
Jawabat. The next one, number 3, is sa'atu. So his or her wristwatch.
Sa'at, yes. Sa'atash.
Exactly. Sa'atash. Exactly. Sa'atash. While the spoken form would be sa'atish.
Yes.
So khab ma means our sleep or our dream or our sleeping, depending, because khab in Persian means dream and sleep both. So khab ma.
Khabeman.
Perfect. Khabeman. If you want to say this one in a spoken Persian, how would you say that?
Khabemun, right?
Khabemun. Amazing. Khabemun. And next one is keshvar. Keshvar means country or states. So keshvar shoma.
Keshvaratan.
Perfect. Keshvaratan. Keshvaratan. How would it be in the spoken form?
Keshvareshun.
No. Keshvaretun, because that's a
Oh, yes. Keshvaretun.
Perfect. So none anha, their bread is plural, would be?
I'm sorry. We're in the next column.
There's the next column up there. Yeah.
So we're converting back to
all of them to the inclusive forms, exactly. This one.
Okay. Well, it's nane.
Nane anha, right? Is the word.
Oh, yes. So nanishan.
Perfect. Nanishan. Nanishan. And then you want to use that in colloquial form?
Would we also change to noon?
Both of them, yes.
Noon-eshun.
Noon-eshun, perfect. So, and then you have shir shoma. Shir means milk. Of course, it has also the meaning of lion, but here it means milk, because that's It's quite far-fetched to think that you would say your lion. Unless you're living in the jungle. So sheer has a double meaning, right? In modern Persian.
Okay.
Means milk and lion. Okay.
شیرتان.
Shiratan. And spoken?
شیرتون.
Shiratun. Exactly. And then we have panir ma. Panir is the cheese. So
No.
Persian cheese is like a feta cheese often, right? So panir ma would be?
پنیر ایمان.
Exactly. Panir ma. And spoken?
پنیر ایمون.
Paniremun. And then the second last one is zabane, his tongue, respectively, his language would be?
زبانش.
Perfect. Zabonesh. And spoken?
زبانش.
Zabonesh or zabunesh? Because
Zabunesh, okay.
right? And then we have halito, your condition, your mood, your situation would be?
حالت.
Halat. And spoken would be?
حالت.
Halat. Perfect. That's it. Amazing. So, okay. So, one thing that I would like to just review is this part of, let me just find it here. Okay, this part. This is rather, in fact, it's rather colloquial Persian, though Latinized in English alphabet. So as you see that here, the endings, just open the comment. So you would have this ending. So which is ketabam, ketabet, ketabish, ketabemun, ketabeton, ketabishun. So now the same with the word sandali, which is the chair, sandalim, sandalit, sandalish. So it means sandaliam, it merged to sandalim, because in fact it should be something like in written form would be like that. Sandali am. But in spoken becomes sandalim. You just make it a little bit more smooth. So sandalim, sandalit, sandalish, sandalimun, sandalitun, sandalishun. And this is exactly tightly connected to this izafi construction, because if I want to say, so let's say Natalie's chair, I would say sandaliye Natalie, right? Just put it here for you to see that. I would say sandaliye Natalie. And what happens here is that there is a connection between the owner, Natalie, and the owned one, chair. And the connection happens in Persian when we are adding this a. Because you could also say sandaliye man, right? My chair or sandali. So this a is quite necessary and inevitable if you are using a proper name. So that's why you see that here, Ketab Reza, Ketab Duste Man. It is a chain of the izafi construction or the a construction. The book of the friend of mine, so my friend's book. See that? There are two a's here, Ketab Duste Man, the book of the friend of mine. Okay. All right. So now, so you see here a possessive form here, and these possessive forms are expressed by using the form a. Or if is it inclusive, I'm sorry, inclusive would be done am. So saying خواهر شبنم کجا درس میخونه. Shabnam's sister, where does she study or where does she go to school? So where does Shabnam's sister go to school? And you see that خواهر شبنم, the structure here, just I'm writing that here in Persian. خواهر, sorry, خواهر شبنم. While Shabnam is a proper name, right? خواهر شبنم. And you see what I would like you to figure out in the next couple of phrases, if you recognize these possessive forms. And he answers, در آمریکا, in America, in the United States. And then he says, میدونی در کدوم دانشگاه, do you know in which university? And he answers, فکر میکنم در دانشگاه Harvard. And as you see that here, this is a possessive connection between the word daneshgah, which is university, and bless you, and the name of the university, Harvard. So daneshgah Harvard. So this is the izafa construction. You really always need to connect the owner with the owned one, or the descripted one with the describer or descriptor. And look at the next phrase. It says, برادر شما اونجاست. It's a possessive pronoun form, right? It's a possessive form, sorry. برادر شما, your brother. So now my question is, it says, برادر شما اونجا, so is brother there too? How would I use this برادر شما in inclusive form? Because the phrase is, this is برادر شما. And you don't want to say the brother of you want to say your brother.
برادرتان.
برادرتان. Unspoken, برادرتون. So it means instead of to say برادر شما اونجاست, I can say برادرتونم اونجاست. Okay. And then he answers. This time he's using an inclusive form. He doesn't say بله برادر من. He says برادرم. See that? Here. برادرم. Instead of to say برادر من. So that is something that I wanted to you to pay attention to, that you have alternatively this option to use the possessive pronouns as plain separated forms and connected forms. And it goes on and on with some examples. خواهر, مادر, پسر, دختر, شاگرد, معلم, پدر. It goes always further with using this a form to show the connection between the described and descriptor, or the owner and the owned one. So would be not bad if you just look at that. Also the other students, that we hopefully could reuse them in conversations in upcoming term. But now I would like to go moving forward, working on prepositions. There's a quite comprehensive list of the Persian prepositions, though not all of them are important for our level. The most important ones I'm going to highlight here. This is the from, which is as, ta, which is till or until. Then we have baraye is important. and be, which means to, and ba. So as, ta, برای، به, and ba. And of course, dash. So to put it together, the most important ones I'm listing here, it would be then as, در, با، برای، به, and ta. These are the most important ones. As, در, با, برای, and ta. I'm just translating that here in into English here down there, that you would know what are they. Would be then from, or sometimes means also of. Then we have in, or it could be also understand also as at. And then we have with, we have for, and to. You could also understand it sometimes as towards. And finally, we have until. Well, or to, you could also understand also as to. So now, what I would like you to pay attention to is just when you look at this forms that they have here as در به با برای تا, look at this little exercise that we have here. The idea is internationally to look at those phrases, filling the gaps, and then rewrite them in Persian. So sometimes there is a verb that you have to conjugate it, and sometimes the phrases are complete. So look at the first one: man, khune, park, and raftam. Put it here in Persian as an example for you. Man, oops, putting that in Persian, sorry, change the language. So look at the number one. I'm exactly working on the number one. Man, and then you have nothing. Khune, and then park, then raftam. What you have here, in fact, is let me put it here. What you have here is you have a phrase which is not properly conjugated. It has just an infinitive. Raftam, which word by word means to go. Now, and you have two objects, khune and park. What you should do is to use an appropriate preposition. One of those ones, let me just copy paste it, that you would have that in front of you. One of these prepositions, or here maybe, to complete the phrase, but at the same time using the appropriate conjugation of the verb raftam, which means to go. So man, gap, khune, gap, park, raftam.
So if you were going to say like, well, hune is like, is that home?
Exactly, and park is a park.
So if like I'm like going home from the park or something like that.
Of course.
So this is like the order.
Yeah,
I guess
we could-
I'm just
we could
getting
say,
used to the order of it.
Yeah.
So
Well, it depends what you want to say. You could say, I went from home to the park. Or,
okay.
Or I went to home from the park.
So if it were the first case, it would be من از خونه
Perfect.
به
Perfect.
پارک رفتم.
Amazing. Exactly. من از خونه به پارک and then of course رفتم. And I have to delete that one. Oh, strange. It didn't let me. Okay. As من از خونه به پارک رفتم. من از خونه به پارک رفتم. Perfect. Amazing. That's it. Look at the next phrase. You have Dariush, LA, New York, and سفر کردن. سفر کردن, just to let you know, all the complicated words that I thought that at your level would be not understandable, I put them here in the annotation, so it means when you are going to do the homework, in fact, you don't need to look up a dictionary. Most words that have to be translated, they are down there in annotation, and the other ones are actually the words that we have often used. So, Dariush, LA, and New York, so سفر کردن is to travel. So now let's look at that, and that would be then the idea that you would really transcribe those phrases into Persian. So Dariush, and then you have the gap. Would be then Los Angeles, and then would be then here the gap. New York, and then you have سفر کردن. So the idea is to say that Darius is traveling from Los Angeles to New York, right? So past tense. So
So this would be like very similar then to the last one.
or you could use, for example, until New York, if you don't want to say be New York, because Tom is until.
Okay, so
And
we
if he
could
did not
say,
travel just up to New York, he didn't go further. You could use that too if you want.
oh, okay. So then Dariush,
Mhm.
sorry, as LA,
As Los Angeles.
Los Angeles ta New York, سفر کرد.
Exactly. Safar and then just کرد. Exactly. Without noon at the end, right? So Dariush as Los Angeles ta New York سفر کرد. That's it. So now let's do that just orally here from 2 to 10. And it would be great if for our upcoming session in the next term, Persian 3, you could just transcribe them into Persian, would be a part of the assignment. So look at the number 3. So and if you need a vocab, I'll help you. Pul means money and dadan means to give.
Okay.
Okay. So go ahead and think about that. What preposition you could put here? پدر و مادر شما ما پول دادن. So what it's trying to say is that your parents, so consisting of your father and your mother, gave us money.
Yes.
So with other words, gave to us money, right?
Oh, okay. So that would be the
Perfect. Yeah, exactly. And what about the verb pul dadan, giving money?
Dadim.
Well, no, the parents gave it.
Oh,
It's a third person plural.
Dadid.
No, dadid is you gave. They gave. من دادم، تو دادی، او داد، ما دادیم، شما
Oh, yes. دادند.
perfect دادند. Exactly. So look at the next one.
Okay.
من گپ تو حرف زدن. So حرف زدن is to speak. It's a compound word. He's trying to say I talked to you, or I did a conversation with you. I spoke with you.
من با تو حرف
با تو حرف and then the
زدم.
perfect exactly حرف زدم. Amazing. من با تو حرف زدم. Number 5. So ماندن or موندن means staying, remaining. So سیروس خونه ماندن or موندن. موندن is spoken, ماندن is literary.
You could say dar.
Exactly.
Dar. Kune.
Exactly.
Mand.
Mond, exactly. سیروس در خانه ماند. Spoken would be mooned, but you don't need to write it. And then number 5. مامان برنج غذا پختن. برنج is the rice and غذا پختن is to cook. Because پختن is to cook. So مامان برنج غذا پختن.
Maybe ba. Maman ba.
Exactly, with rice. Exactly, perfect. Exactly. مامان با برنج غذا پخت. Just that person. And now next one. دوست من گپ مادرش it's a typo here, has to be مادرش کتاب فارسی خواندن. Let me just edit that part, close and edit it. That has to be مادرش just. So let's see. So that's it. Okay, so now, sorry, I have to edit it again. مادرش. So, and now, okay, so, دوست من مادرش کتاب فارسی خوندن. So now, کتاب فارسی is Persian book. خواندن is to study.
Okay.
What could I put here? Reasonably.
Would that be the maybe dar baraye or no?
Yeah, we could say درباره. That's not bad, but I mean, what about you mean the word baraye for?
Oh yes, yes.
Exactly, baraye. Exactly. So دوست من برای مادرش کتاب فارسی خواند. Perfect. Exactly. So my friend read a Persian book for his mom. We could also say with دوست من با مادرش کتاب فارسی خواند.
Okay.
So my friend read a Persian book together with his mom, right? So, and the next one, خونه ما لس آنجلس and هستن. Bracket has to be closed here first. خونه ما لس آنجلس and هستن.
Maybe dar.
Perfect. خونه ما در لس آنجلس
Asked.
Of course, and asked. Exactly. Has or past. Both forms are working. So, second last one, شما ماشین خونه رفتن. Machine is the car, vehicle, and raftam is to go, to drive in this context.
Okay, one moment.
شما ماشین خونه رفتن.
شما با
شما با
ماشین
ماشین
به خونه.
perfect. Perfect. And then the second person plural, you went.
رفتید.
Perfect. That's it.
Okay, nice.
Amazing.
Okay.
Yes. And then the last one. And the torture terminates now because I know it's 2 hours almost, but it's difficult. I know. So دختر پسر تلفن کردن. دختر is the girl and پسر is the boy. تلفن کردن is to do the phone, to talk on over the phone, to call.
Would it be just با?
Yes.
Like
دختر با پسر تلفن.
کرد.
That's it. Amazing. Thank you so much. Amazing. Perfect. So I think that's fine for now. And I would write a reminder for Romina and Juliana that our next session for Persian 3 starts on 30th December, right? Would be that?
Yes.
Would be Tuesday, right?
I believe it's a Monday.
Oh, it's a month. Oh, they changed it from.
Do Monday, Wednesday.
And is it a good time for you?
Yes, the time works.
Okay.
Yes, it's fine.
Okay. Thank you so much for your patience.
Do you want to say hello?
What?
Do you want to say hello?
سلام.
Dante is here. He wants
Dante
to
چطوری؟
practice. That's all.
خوبم با شما.
خوبید شما؟ باش فارسی حرف بزن.
سعی میکنم.
سعی کن باش فارسی حرف بزن. خجالتیه. She's a little bit shy. You have to talk to her.
No, I'm not.
Okay, amazing. مرسی.
Well,
مرسی.
thank you.
مرسی. پس تا هفته دیگه دوشنبه. Thank you. Will be my Monday. It's not دوشنبه in Tajikistan, right? It's دوشنبه is next.
Yes.
Okay. Bye.
زندگی
Bye.
می‌کردم.
Bye.
Have a good one.